Hello everyone, today I'm talking Bugatti again. When I reviewed the exotic envies car culture set, or the part I got from it, I did mention I'm gonna do a comparison between the JKM and the um Grani and Partners version that was exclusively released in Taiwan 711s. And that's exactly what I am going to do. I will talk about this thinking about the Hot Wheels car culture premium Bugatti in mind as well, even though I didn't get it. It's way too expensive. It's probably going to be more expensive, or about as expensive as both of these two put together. And in my very much personal opinion, I think these are both better than the Hot Wheels version, but in different ways. They're very, very different cars. First of all, size. I'm going to look at both of them claim to be true 164. And just using your eyes, they do very much look like they are the same size. Not the exact same proportions, although very similar, but there will be subtle differences as car models inevitably do. Although I do think the Granny and Partners version of the right is slightly larger. It's ever so slightly longer. For example, the backs are pretty much aligned, and you can see the front of this one is poking out a little bit. It is also a little bit wider. I tried putting it into the JKM box, and it doesn't fit. It's a little wide for that. And going through the basics, JKM, metal body, metal chassis, and in comparison, this one is metal. All the this bronze color that you see is metal. This part, all of this black part is plastic, and the base is also plastic. So this one is actually so much heavier than this. This is probably like about the same size as might be even, I think, yeah, it's even lighter than a regular mainline Hot Wheels, which is concerning. Well, not concerning, right? You're not buying things just because of the material value. It is a little bit foggy inside because this one actually have to be put together, and there's something wrong with the screw and the grooves of the body. So it did use a little bit of glue, which probably ended up with the mirror fogging a little. So on one hand, don't hold the fogging against Granny and Partner, but on the other hand, just know that your quality control might be an issue, and you might not be able to screw it completely without using glue anyway. But you can see there's a bit of a coloration in the interior, so it's pretty nicely done. The fingerprints are mine, obviously. JKM in comparison doesn't have any coloration inside, and this one is actually fully assembled, right? So you don't need to play with it. Look at the front. Both have lens headlights. The Grani and Partner version actually has a little bit painted, so it looks a little bit sharper. But I think it'll also look a little bit more fake in comparison, even though the JKM version is not super sharp. It looks very realistic. It looks like someone has kind of a negative space in the plastic bit itself. The grille, you can see, again, the Grani and Partner version has a little bit of overspray, and the Bugatti logo looks a bit nicer on the JKM as well. But on the other hand, as far as headlight is concerned, even though both of them are lens, you can see the JKM version is poking out a little, so it doesn't, in certain angles, it doesn't look that great. But in comparison, everything is as where it should be on the Grani and Partners version. Let's go to the side. The wheels, obviously, I think the JKM version is not as good as the Grani and Partners one. I think the Grani and Partner ones look a little bit sharper. Not like by much, and the JKM one isn't bad either, but I do think the Grani and Partner ones is better. And look at all of the individual details. JKM has a little bit more color on here, a bit more paint application, but it can just be like different trims and different custom orders, right? But it does have painted fuel cap, which isn't here on the Grani and Partners version. And here we get to the top. You can see I think the Grani and Partner ones is actually a little bit sharper, a little bit more detail, but it's also using plastic, which does seem easier to achieve. And obviously the biggest difference here being, even though the JKM version has a bit of engine detail, you can actually remove the engine cover here. and see the glorious Bugatti engine for yourself. Although one downside being, if you put it back, you can see it doesn't fit perfectly. It doesn't align perfectly, right? This is supposed to go into one fluid motion right here, but it doesn't. And I've read reviews of other people's experience with this, and it seems to be pretty ubiquitous. The rear lights are not lensed on the Grani and Partner version. It is lensed on the JKM version, or the JKM version is also a little bit thicker than it's supposed to be in 164. The Chiron text is sharper on the JKM. I think that's no context. But JKM didn't bother to paint the exhaust pipes while Grani and Partners did. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. None of them have chromed mirrors, if that's something you're interested in. A lot of these companies don't, right? Not even TLV. And let's check the bottom. Not that it's super important, but might as well, right? As you can see, the JKM is a little bit more detailed, a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more detailed, a little bit sharper. But one big difference being that Grani and Partners actually has obtained license for Bugatti. I said in the Exotic Envy version video, I've asked around, and someone did say that JKM has license for a Bugatti and Subaru, but I don't see any, any evidence, any indication of them on the car or in the packaging itself. So I'm not gonna say I believe them right away. This one actually screwed. This one is too, but like I said, because of the a bit of an issue, I had to glue it in, so I don't think this one can be modified anymore. I do want to, if I ever get a chance, I do want to unscrew one of these JKM cars to show you guys, and myself included, what's inside. Both of them roll. JKM marketed as saying that it has a bit of well, this one doesn't roll great. It rolls, but like you can see, I'm trying to push as best as I can, and every once in a while it doesn't want to roll that well. JKM does roll extremely well. JKM also marketed as saying it has suspension, which, yeah, a tiny little bit, not much, but it's there. And overall, I do think the JKM is a better made model than the Grani and Partners, but not like significantly so. Both of them are very great to have, and since the Hot Wheels version is going crazy expensive, these two are more than adequate alternatives. They are, in my opinion, better made than the Hot Wheels version. So I think they more than make up for the fact that it doesn't have a Hot Wheels / Mattel logo. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you find this informative. I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.